Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new King and Queen of the Ring have been crowned. What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and happy Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. And this is my live review of yesterday's premium live event, pay-per-view, whatever you refer to it these days, WWE's King. I said Crown Jewel there. That's not till November. But this is my live review of King and Queen of the Ring 2024. It took place yesterday, May 24th, I'm butchering all over the place today. May 25th, 2024. And it took place at the Jeddah Superdome in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, in front of another hot international crowd again. Of course, the biggest pop of the night by far had to have been Sami Zayn. Again, getting like a big hero's welcome as he is, with him being Syrian and whatnot. And overall, I thought King and Queen of the Ring was a very, very fun show. Not a bad match on the card. A lot of storytelling progression. Well, mostly I would say with 4 of the 5 matches, we got some good storytelling progression and whatnot. I had a great time watching this show. I thought it was pretty fun. Like I said in my preview, my only thing is I just still wish they would have had more of the tournament matches on this show. Like I said before, you could do 6 matches. The semifinals matches for Raw and SmackDown. Well, each of those semifinals matches. And then the finals for the King and Queen of the Ring. And you could do like a women's title match and a world title match. That's pretty fair. I wish they would have done that, just to make things a little more on your toes and a little more interesting. Just my opinion, though. But what we got in this card, I thought was really good. So I'm gonna go back and talk about it again. I'm trying to decide. There was 2 matches that I'm up in the air with as to what was my match tonight. It's either that Intercontinental title triple threat match or the King of the Ring match with Gunther and Randy Orton. Part of me wants to give it to Gunther and Randy Orton. But that finish, though, kind of hurts it a wee bit. Like, if it wasn't for that finish, I would have probably been calling that an all-time classic. That match was outstanding. The Intercontinental title match had some great storytelling moments in there as well. And again, as well as Sami Zayn getting like the hottest pop of the night for sure. Again, the women had some great showings in there as well. That finish, though, for the Queen match, hope Lyra's okay, let's put it that way. And Becky and Liv did kick off the show with a very, very hot opener. And the main event was great, too. Again, not much storytelling going on with Cody Rhodes. He's more so just being a fighting champion, putting on excellent matches, which, it's not the worst, but, we want to get to still, like, the meat of his story as a champion. But we will roll into it. We will talk about the show, and we will go from there. First, though, let's check the live chat. See who we got here. And we've got Tyler in the live chat. He thought the show was meh. That's fine. We all have different opinions. He's also happy Cody won. Yes, I am too. He hated the finish to the opener. I actually like that finish, but it's all good. Remember the old Saudi shows were ridiculous. Glorified house shows, yes. Crown Jewel, I know last fall was a wee bit of a swing and a miss. It was okay. It was probably one of the weaker Triple H pay-per-views, though, I would probably say. But, you know, they're still better and a lot more manageable to watch. And Cody's match with AJ was better than this match, he thought. They're both very close, I would say. Both having the same purpose. I'll tell you what, though. That camera shot, though, of Logan Paul, like, spinning around him before he did his frog splash to the table. God, you would not be getting that stuff with Kevin Dunn in the truck. That was an unreal shot. And he's mentioned AEW. We're here to talk about AEW. And no, I am not watching Double or Nothing tonight. I'm sorry, I have no interest. I have zero interest in Double or Nothing. I will not be watching it. I still might try to find some way, though, to go back and live react to Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay's match, though, from Dynasty. I do feel like I really need to see that match. But yeah, Tyler's here leaving his thoughts. So if you guys join me live further on down the line, or if you watch this afterwards, make sure you guys leave your thoughts as well. And of course, also, let me know what you think again of the new setup for the pay-per-views. Like I said, I definitely prefer this. Yes, I got the match order wrong, but I'm not going to go back to fix it. But I still prefer this. Maybe clean up, having the logo a little more centered underneath the graphic a little bit. But again, it's hard when I'm using like multiple softwares to make these graphics now. But yeah, I definitely like this better than the other setup that I had from before. But we're going to roll in. Let me first take a quick little swig of my Sprite. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about some wrestling. And then afterwards, I'm going to go barbecue for a bit. And I may also post a little announcement thing about a change also I made on the channel, which is probably not going to be that noticeable, because what I'm going to be trying to get back into soon is something I haven't touched for like 7 years, but it's basically me starting over with it, with something else on the channel. Nothing really to do with wrestling. This is one of my little odds and ends things I love to do, but I'll make a little announcement about that maybe later on tonight. But yeah, I'm going to roll in and talk about King and Queen of the Ring 2024, and we will, in fact, roll from there. So on the pre-show, there was a pre-show match. I guess Saudi Arabia now wants pre-show matches, because I feel like they're the only pay-per-views that get pre-show matches, because Sami Zayn and JD McDonough had a pre-show match at Crown Jewel, and I don't think any other pay-per-views have had pre-show matches, as far as I can think of. So I guess Saudi Arabia wants pre-show matches. Or it may just be me, who knows. But I didn't watch it, but Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill retained their tag titles over Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. I figured that was going to happen. I just thought it was weird, though, that they had they had Shayna and Zoe win a number one contenders match on Raw, but yet another random team gets to fight them on pay-per-view. I didn't get why that happened there. It kind of sucks also that Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell are just eating pins now, because I really liked the transition into the Candice LeRae character and how she was even starting to get a little more under the skin, and now it's transitioned Indy Hartwell into being a heel again as well. But they're not really going forward with anything with the team. So that's a wee bit disappointing. But Bianca and Jade win the tag titles. They're not dropping them anytime soon, as far as I believe. They could throw a curveball at me, you never know. But that's how we did the kickoff show. We actually opened up the show with the women's world title match. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. First off, let me talk about the attire. So, in Saudi Arabia, all women have to be completely covered. They can't be wearing bikinis and other stuff as well in there. They have to be completely covered. It's their country. We all respect that when we go over there. I gotta say this, though. Liv Morgan being dressed up as Britney Spears, fine. Becky Lynch. Was it just me, or did Becky Lynch look like she was being dressed up as a hostess at a restaurant or something? Like, she had, like, a woman's suit on, it looked like. I just thought she could have been saying, table for party of three, or whatnot. It just looked like she was dressed up in a suit. But I thought this match was very hot. Great opener. Their matches have definitely improved. Remember, it was in 2022, I think it was, early 2022, late 2021, where Liv and Becky had a feud. And it was during a time where Liv was popular, but she was still losing a lot of matches. And people, she's basically like a jobber at the time getting these title shots. And they were trying to make it work. But again, Becky Lynch just didn't work as a heel at the time. And Liv, of course, was still kind of in the water as well as a babyface. But I still thought this is, of course, a mass improvement. You can feel the tension between them. Towards the end of the match, though, and of course, this has been teased backstage several times, but I like how they did this. I like how this. I mean, it's a thing where, like, we know it's happening, but they're trying to pull our leg with it for a second, and still kind of, like, slowly transition this. But towards the end of the match, Becky had Liv in a disarmer. Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Sanchez, as his father calls him, or the guy I claim that stole Carlito's mustache, because, again, Dom didn't have a mustache. Carlito did. The moment Dom grew a mustache, Carlito shaved his but kept the rest of his facial hair. So again, did Dominic actually steal Carlito's facial hair is what I want to know. But he came out, and he tossed a chair in the ring, looking like he was going to get ready to help Becky Lynch. But then he gets on the apron and starts yelling at the referee. And then Liv Morgan takes advantage of the distraction. She DDTs Becky onto the chair and then hits her with the Oblivion. And Liv Morgan is now a 2-time women's champion. But Dom himself even was like, what have I done? What have I done? Like, I like that, it wasn't obvious. I mean, we know behind the scenes they're setting up for this, especially for whenever Rhea Ripley comes back, where Dom is going to betray Rhea for Liv. And Liv is continuing developing this new villainous psycho-type character, which, to be honest again, when she started teasing that back in 2022 after she dropped her women's title, I'm like, this feels more settling. Like, this feels like that has an actual direction for her. And this run, since she came back at the Rumble, has definitely been one of her strongest so far. So, now they're getting it right with Liv Morgan. But, of course, again, it left this kind of mystery. Like, we know Dom and Liv are actually a duo behind the scenes. But are they really? They're not exposing it yet. Becky Lynch later was upset backstage, and she said she's going to go. Apparently, rematch clauses are back, so she's going to Adam Pearce, and she wants to get her rematch this coming Monday on Raw. Will she get it? I don't know. But again, interesting enough again that yes, it feels like Liv is a heel, but they haven't had that moment when it's revealed that Liv actually is a villain and not just like being extra aggressive. Like the seeds are still growing. So I'm going to wait just a wee bit longer until this heel turn fully is cemented. But again, this is exactly what they needed to do with Liv to get her back to the title picture. And I'm definitely happy she is where she is right now. But I thought that was a very hot opener there. The second match was Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable and Sami Zayn, as Drew McIntyre would say. Again, Sami Zayn was greeted with open arms with a big hero's welcome. Came out in his Syrian attire. I'm not sure what the actual terms are. I do apologize. Bronson Reed, though, of course, even though he was kind of like the third man in the match, like he was there probably to eat the pin. He still put on an outstanding performance. For crying out loud, he had a freaking suicide dive so smoothly onto both the smaller guys of Gable and Zayn as well. Chad Gable is now getting still the Kurt Angle treatment, getting the "You Suck" chants like kind of like warped into his theme song, which is awesome. Also, again, how Akira Tozawa wasn't there. He sent Maxine Dupree to the back because he doesn't trust her based off of what she did this past week on Raw. But Otis actually did, even though he did apologize to Sami later. So showing that Otis is not fully turned heel, but they're still teasing that breakup, and it's getting Otis over. Like, this match happens, and first off, like, Chad told Otis, stick with me, the plan. Tell me it's going to happen, basically. You tell him you have his word. And first off, the match itself, again, was just insane and crazy. Again, Chad Gable just stealing the show in this match a lot. He did a freaking German suplex on Bronson Reed as Bronson was holding Sami. We had big suplexes off of the top rope and whatnot. We had a triple ankle lock because we had, I think it was Gable had Bronson in an ankle lock while Sami put Chad in an ankle lock. And several other maneuvers. It was just chaotic and just crazy, and just all three of these guys just had an outstanding match. But then the end comes. So Chad Gable tossed Bronson Reed out of the ring. Otis, with no hesitation, hits him with a clothesline. Then Sami Zayn gets tossed out. Otis, though, is hesitant. And he's showing that he wants to satisfy Chad, but he also knows what he's doing is wrong. He also knows that Sami accepted his apology, which he can't remember. He still has a soft spot for Sami. There was times he was just like getting fired up about to do it. He couldn't pull himself to do it. And Gable, of course, is just like getting on him. I think he even slapped him a couple times. Until finally, Otis gave in, exploded, but Sami ducked, and Otis actually hit the clothesline on Gable instead. And of course, that took Gable out of the match because Sami got back in and Bronson was still down and out. And Sami hit the haluva kick on Bronson Reed, as I predicted, and he retained the title. So Chad Gable did not get pinned in this match. And the last time Chad faced Sami one-on-one, Chad beat him. So that is an excuse for Gable to get another shot at Sami's title, which that is the match where Sami's going to drop the title to Chad Gable. It's got to happen. I felt, again, that they needed just a wee bit more to the story first before giving the belt to Chad. And again, as badly as I know we all want him to have the witness as a babyface, the story's being told right. And again, Chad Gable is just making this heel role like one of the best roles he has played so far. Also, I gotta mention this as well. I know Otis is getting over, but is anyone else besides me, whenever he does break away from the Alpha Academy, because I'm still thinking they're going to bring in, Gable's going to bring in the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile to be in his new Alpha Academy. And where was I going with this? I kind of want to see them bring back Tucker Knight and reunite Heavy Machinery. I'm dead serious. I kind of want to see Heavy Machinery again. I miss it. If Otis is a single star, he can make it work. When he's given the right stuff, he can make it work. He's entertaining. He's funny. He's tacky. I know he misses his peach, Mandy Rose, but, she is off doing OnlyFans and making $55,000 from one human being, but, we'll talk about that enough already. But, yeah, this was outstanding. But I think the next time Sami and Chad go one-on-one, Chad's winning that title, as I believe he should. So, yeah, that match, which again, either that or the King of the Ring finals match was my match tonight. I'm still deciding. I can't decide. But before we got to the King of the Ring finals, we got to the Queen of the Ring finals. It was Raw's Lyra Valkyria taking on SmackDown's Nia Jax. I'm still used to saying SmackDown because Nia has been on Raw her entire main roster career so far, but now she's finally on SmackDown. First off, love Lyra Valkyria's entrance. I mean, I love her theme song, but I also like how she came out with, the wings and whatnot, and rose up through the smoke. It was crazy. Keep that entrance more often for her. That's going to help her stand out for sure if they do that. But the match was good. I'd probably say this was the weakest of the 5 matches on the card. Well, not counting the pre-show, which I'll probably consider that one the weakest, even though I didn't see it. But, Nia, of course, dominated Lyra for most of the match. But again, as I continue to say, Nia Jax is still putting on great matches. This match with Lyra, yes, she dominated a good portion of it, but again, when her first run around, Vince half-assed her. Vince didn't know how to book her. Like, all she would do is just be a big person. You know, just run into people, toss people, like, boring stuff, and no wonder why it was leading to people getting hurt. Now that she seems to have more of a grasp on psychology, she has, like, maneuvers. Like, she's not, again, she actually has moves. And her matches are just so much better than they once were. And Lyra as well. Again, I know Lyra can maybe develop a little bit more of a character. She is great inside the ring. She's smaller, but she's still someone to watch. Her presentation's great. I do think she's going to be someone big down the line. Again, right now, if you want to have her be a protege with Becky Lynch, I think that would be a great teaming for them as well, especially also since they have a little bit of history. Because Lyra was the one who dethroned Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's title. The finish of the match, though, oh boy. Hope Lyra's okay, but the finish of the match, Lyra was trying to pick up Nia in the corner for a turnbuckle powerbomb. And Nia basically just, like, fell completely on top of Lyra. It looked like she literally, like, squashed her legitimately. And of course she did, Nia just stood there and it's like, oh! It looked all tough and whatnot. And Lyra didn't kick out. Lyra was out cold. And Nia Jax wins Queen of the Ring. Again, did I think... Does the Nia's, like, role, her being the bigger woman, suit Queen of the Ring? I would say Queen of the Ring, but I'm still happy for her. I'm still happy that she did win this tournament. Again, she put on some great matches. Like, again, she has clean victories now over Bianca Belair, Naomi. She also beat Becky Lynch clean earlier this year as well. Like, she is someone that this Nia Jax I can believably see being a women's champion. Which I think is going to happen because with this win, she now gets a match for the women's title at SummerSlam. Which she's on SmackDown. It'll most likely be her and Bayley. And I think Bayley will be dropping the title to Nia Jax. But again, though, hats off to Nia. And she even had an emotional moment with Triple H. Again, she has improved a lot. But of course, after, she got a microphone, basically said, hey, I want you guys to like me, basically. But, still happy for her. Her and Lyra had a great match. And again, Lyra's already going to be in good hands. I think she's going to be great. Like I said, the character is still, like, seasoning out for her. But, like, her presentation, again, like, that entrance with the wings, outstanding. I loved it. I hope she definitely continues to go up the ladder as well in this women's division on Raw. But with that being said, let's move on now to my other favorite match of this show. And that is, in fact, the King of the Ring finals. Gunther from Raw taking on SmackDown's Randy Orton. Now, of course, the story going in this tournament for Randy is purely simple. Randy has done pretty much everything in his career. Won championships. Like, I think he's won all the titles. Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble. Don't know if he's been sole survivor. He's headlined many pay-per-view matches. But the one thing he has never done was win King of the Ring. And you knew that the moment... Well, again, when Gunther was first announced himself into this tournament, you felt this was a tournament meant for Gunther to win. Of course, they kind of had me on my toes for a second because they did throw in Jey Uso, and we all thought that Jey had a good shot to win with how over he is right now. Unfortunately, though, they didn't give it to Jey, but Gunther and Randy, oh my gosh. This match, again, had it not been for that botched finish, this would definitely be a match of the year candidate. They hit each other so hard. And again, the thing about Gunther is he beats the shit out of you so bad that but also he brings out a different maneuver to finish off his opponents. He's beating people with clotheslines, with splashes, with power bombs, with Boston crabs, you name it all. He's had you don't know when he's really finished because he just like capitalizes to make sure you're really like down and out and whatnot. But his work on Randy Orton, and and we always had this too. Randy Orton has had a history where if his heart's not into it, his matches suck. But especially this run, all of his matches have been outstanding. Especially in this match, especially selling like the chops and the viciousness from Gunther. Like when Gunther was like attacking Orton's back, Orton sold it unbelievably. He even went after Orton's knees as well. Orton has a history of knee problems as well. Also sold it spectacularly. These guys were like, like slammed them in the tables and the turnbuckles. And again, Orton selling in this match was just outstanding, much of a chef's kiss. I thought so. I loved also the spot. Well, the first time Orton went for an RKO and Gunther avoided it. Then the second time Orton did hit the RKO, but of course Orton was already beaten up from the bad back. And as soon as Orton tried to move towards Gunther, Gunther rolled out of the ring. It was crazy how they did that how they did some of those spots. But through all that hard hitting, though, the big problem, though, is the finish. The finish, Gunther won by a roll-up. But it was shown, obviously, that that Randy's shoulder was, in fact, off the mat. And Triple H, though, did say in a backstage interview that, yes, he saw that, but as it stands, Gunther is king of the ring. But he feels like that there will be more with him and Randy. So maybe at like Clash or Money in the Bank or maybe even SummerSlam. Well, it can't be SummerSlam because Gunther has probably either Clash or Money in the Bank will probably have a rematch between these two because of that controversial finish. Triple H is going to roll with a story when it has to be happening. But man, I knew this was going to be a great match. I think it was going to be as great though as it was. Like I said, I still can't decide between this match or that Intercontinental title matches, which match was my favorite my favorite match of the show. But Gunther is in fact king of the ring. He will get a world title match at SummerSlam. Who will he fight though? That's the question. We'll have to wait and see. Because Triple H did also announce for the main event of the show that at Clash of the Castle, Damian Priest will defend his World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre, who officially has been cleared to return to competition. Which that will be interesting. I think, if I'm being honest, and I'll probably put it into my predictions, I think they should make that match a steel cage match. If the story here is Drew McIntyre, wants to block CM Punk out, that he would want this to be inside of a steel cage. That way there's no ifs, ands, or buts, or that way Punk can't interfere in his match yet again. So I'm hoping for that. And then we have the main event for the Undisputed WWE Championship. The champ, Cody Rhodes, taking on United States Champion Logan Paul. One of my least favorite human beings on the planet Earth. But of course, I digress, despite the fact that the build was a little bit weird. Again, Cody is more so just a fighting champion. Not much story to his reign so far. Just him, defending his title all around the world. Despite all that and the weird booking, this match was fantastic, as you would expect. Fast, high flying. We have a Cody cutter onto the table. The stuff with Logan Paul saying he's not going to use the brass knucks, but then he does use them as well. There was actually a moment where Michael Cole and Logan Paul had a confrontation, and I think Corey Graves had to separate them. And I'm like, oh God, don't even think about teasing the match with Logan Paul and Michael Cole. Oh dear Lord, that would be atrocious. I would hate him. Again, if he can't wrestle Jerry the King Lawler, how on earth he's going to even have a chance against a freak athlete like Logan Paul? But there was also a spot in the match where Logan actually, of course, was doing some trash talking. He also used the crossroads on Cody, which, he didn't do the same thing that what Roman did at Mania, saying, that move sucks. My favorite part of the match, though, was still getting that frog splash that Logan did off of the top turnbuckle and through the table. And the main reason why, again, is just how it was shot. They had like probably a drone or something like spinning around Logan Paul's head. And as he's like gloating, he's drinking the Prime and tossing it aside, getting ready to do it. And just a shot of it, it was unreal. Like, again, production has improved so much since Kevin Dunn left. But eventually, though, Cody was able to, overcome the odds, get the, and hit the 3 crossroads, and he beat Logan Paul. We did also, at some point during the show, have another flash for Uncle Howdy, but no Uncle Howdy this show. When he's going to come, I have no idea. But should be soon, though. It's already been, a month or two since they started showing the QR codes again, but, we'll see. But that does it, guys. That is my review of King and Queen of the Ring 2024. Again, congratulations to our new champion, Liv Morgan. Congratulations to our King and Queen of the Ring winners, Nia Jax and Gunther. Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes both retained their titles. And again, it was a great show. I gave it a B+. Again, I love the storytelling for most of the matches. I thought Orton and Gunther had a match of the year contender. The stuff in the IC title match was great. Nia Jax and Lyra had a good match. And again, despite the fact that, there's not much of a story road to Cody's telling right now, he still had a great main event match against Logan Paul. Who he fights next, though, I don't know. Logan Paul, though, on the other hand, SummerSlam, he needs to drop that U.S. title to L.A. Knight. Yeah! I've been wanting to see that match since last year's Money in the Bank. But, yeah, it's going to do it. I gave the show a B+. Let's check the live chat, see if Tyler's anything else. Logan needs to stop stealing Regal's knuckles. Liv win the title was like Randy getting the title at No Mercy on 7. When the champion gets injured and getting handed the belt and losing it and winning it, it was bad. He wasn't a fan of Liv winning the title. That's fine. He also thinks Shad needs to get away from the IC title. He had how many shots at it? It's been a while though, but the story right now is great. He's got to get that title. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are the worst things about SmackDown. He's not a fan of either one of them. His mom likes Nia. Nice. It's going to be 20 years since Orton turned face as the main event at the first time. It really sucks. Randy is way better as a heel. Again, he's definitely... Right now, I think Randy's still only a face because he's still kind of in that honeymoon period of I didn't think I was going to be able to do this again, but now I'm getting heroes welcomes for, being here. At some point, though, Randy will be a heel again. And I agree. He is his best at the heel. Logan's the worst U.S. champion to defend it, but, we've had other ones in this division before. And Michael Cole's screams at Logan was funny. Yes, they were. But that's going to do it, guys. I'm going to get off here. Again, I'm going to be playing some more video games tonight after I do some cooking and enjoy my barbecue and my Memorial Day weekend, my day off tomorrow. So, guys, that's my review on King and Queen of the Ring 2024. What are your guys' thoughts on King and Queen of the Ring 2024? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. And be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at the Club with the Man 93. And you may also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club with the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys later. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!